Coming live from the HPU Esports Arena, powered by DSE Hawaii, on the Hawaii Pacific University campus at Aloha Tower Marketplace, here's your host, Hawaii Pacific University's Vice President and Chief Marketing Communications Officer, Jeffrey Rich.
Aloha, Sharks Nation. It's Thursday at 9 a.m., and that can only mean one thing. It's time for Sharks Weekly. We are broadcasting live from the beautiful campus of Hawaii Pacific University from the HPU Esports Arena, powered by DSE Hawaii. And today we've got an exciting show for you. We have women's softball in studio. All right, yeah. We've got head coach Jarnett Lono and three standout student athletes, Taylor Thompson, Alexis Oshiro, and Makayla Pagampao. Got that right, yes. I love that name, by the way. Great name. All right, so we are going to be having some fun talking softball, learning a little bit about what the upcoming season is looking like. So it will be an exciting show. And I just want to remind our listeners that you can text in questions to our student athletes, to Coach, to Greg, myself. And that number is 808-888-5481. Once again, 808-888-5481. And we will open it up for those questions, which hopefully we'll get a little bit later in the show. So, first of all, let me introduce back in studio, we've got Mr. Greg Fishbach. Greg, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm excited. Everybody's here. We got so many players and the coach, so ready to talk softball.
Exciting conversation. Yeah. And as always, our in-studio guy who keeps us on time and on target and on task, Mr. Paul Breck. Mr. Paul Breck, how are you today?
I am happy to be talking softball, as what I'll say.
We'll stay off other topics today. Big news in Hawaii. All right, well, we're going to stay away from that. All right. Jarnett, let me, first of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And you have had an amazing career here at HPU. Going back to your playing days, you played second base when you were a player here at HPU. You were first team All-Pac West, an All-West region performer who helped HPU win a national title for fielding percentage. That's an accomplishment, man. Wow. Other accolades, you earned third-team NFCA All-American honors as a senior in 1999, helping to lead HPU to its very first Pac West Conference Championship. Congratulations on that accomplishment from back in the day. And you've been part of the coaching staff here, and you were part of the 2010 NCAA Division II National Championship team, leading that team. Mm-hmm. Again, earning NFCA Coaching Staff of the Year honors. You were the former sports information director and compliance officer here at HPU. I'm sure you have some stories there to tell.
Those are great times.
Wow. And then the best accomplishment of all, given that we are an academic institution, is that you hold both a bachelor's and an MBA in marketing, graduating as a first-team academic All-Pac West and NFCA scholar athlete. Mm-hmm. I'm giving you a fist pump for that.
That's quite a resume.
There you go, isn't it? Wow.
That's amazing.
Huge accomplishments. Yeah. Well, Jarnett, you've created a culture of excellence here at HPU, and you've recruited amazing student athletes. You've got great team chemistry. You got it all going on. When you look back, you know, you've literally been with the university for decades, starting in 95. Over that time, how have you seen the program evolve, and what are you most proud of?
I think what we're most proud of as a program is the fact that our graduation rate continues to be above 90%. So that just tells us that as a program, the foundation that we've built, we're committed to getting students to come to HPU and to also graduate from HPU.
And that is so important and all too overlooked by many schools, especially, you know, big D1 programs where it's about the money and the exposure and not the education that the students need to get.
90% is incredible.
Yeah. Wow. It's an amazing accomplishment.
Yeah. On one hand, I can count the number of kids who have not finished.
Wow. That's
Wow. Well, you have brought three of those amazing student athletes with you in studio today. Let me introduce each of you, and we can get the conversation started between everybody here. So first, hailing from Phoenix, Arizona, a hot place indeed in the summer, Taylor Thompson is a senior. Plays utility infielder. I know utility anywhere.
Right-handed pitcher.
Right-handed pitcher.
Pitcher, power hitter.
Okay.
Pitcher, power hitter.
There you go. Pitcher, power hitter. All right.
We don't see many of that. Pitcher, power hitter.
No, We don't.
That's kind of an interesting, rare.
She's basically Shohei. That's
wow,
basically
I know,
what we're saying.
yeah.
Right.
We
Well,
have
if
our
you
own
were
Shohei.
if you were Major League, you'd be playing in the National League, right, where you
Right.
could get up to that plate
Right.
and take a swing.
Right.
You are a criminal justice major. Let's see, some other highlights: earned Best Teammate and Most Improved Player awards in high school, and some fun facts. You like spaghetti and Taco Bell.
Yes. They haven't updated that in a few years, but
No?
I do. Also, I still like spaghetti and Taco Bell, though.
Do you still like Talladega Nights, Elf, and Legally Blonde?
Yes, I said that if anyone, like, if there was a movie about myself, I would want Will Ferrell to play me.
Oh, wow.
With a wig
Another
on.
interesting pick.
All right, Will Ferrell, if you're listening, there's a part waiting
He
for you.
listens every week, Jeff.
I heard.
I heard he listens
He's
every
a
week.
chronic listener.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's introduce our second student athlete. We have Lexi Oshiro, a junior from here in Honolulu. I hope I got this position right. Outfielder and first base. Mm-hmm. All right,
Got it.
we got that. And you are a biology major. And
Yes.
some highlights: you are OIA First Team East as a freshman. High school valedictorian with CTE and academic honors. That is an accomplishment as well. Anything academic accomplishment, we're going to call out big time
Yeah.
today. And some fun facts. You like poke, like many of us here, acai bowls, and tonko. What is that? Ramen? Tonko chuchu ramen?
Tonkotsu.
There you go.
There you
Thank
go.
you. It's another word I
Yeah.
can't pronounce.
We're testing you today.
I know. The testing is on. Well, welcome to the show, Lexi.
Thank you.
And then our third student athlete, we have Makayla Pagampao. Makayla, you are third base, first base, and pitcher?
Yes.
Okay,
Wow.
we got that right. And another biology
Biology.
major.
Yes.
So another focus on academics. And you were co-MVP at Milani High School's varsity softball team in 2024 and the JV MVP in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna, I noted this on some of the facts about you, but you're an old soul. You like some TV shows from the past.
Okay, what are they?
Gilmore Girls,
Uh-huh.
Friends, and Grey's Anatomy.
Well, those are all good, but Grey's Anatomy's still on the air.
Is it? But,
Yeah.
well, it's in syndication. Is that still...
No, no,
I haven't
Still-
been keeping
still-
up.
No? Okay, so
Yeah.
that's old.
Yeah.
No, I watch every
They got rid of all the good characters.
Wow. All right. Well, let's jump into some questions here that we can all kind of... Taylor, let me hit you with the first one. So, how has HPU helped you grow both on and off the field?
It's definitely given me a lot of opportunities. I came here thinking, I'll play softball. I'm here for school, right? But as you'll find, Makayla, you'll probably find within the next year, you come here and you're like, I'm here to play softball and then go to school. But it's given me a lot of opportunities. It's helped me figure it out, like what I'm going to do after school. I'm not sure yet, but I know I want to use my degree, and I've met a lot of good friends, lifetime friends, and yeah.
Well, I had noted that you aspire to be a successful criminal defense attorney. Is that not on the
Again,
radar
not
anymore?
updated in a few years.
Okay.
But like in all my classes, I've focused a lot of like my research on the rehabilitation of prisoners and making them better for when they come out and are successful members of society. So I want to do something with that.
That is a very worthy cause. So many I can never pronounce this word either. The recidivism
Yes.
rate,
Recidivism.
yes, is extremely high, except for when programs are developed in communities that help reform prisoners and give them job skills and training, and that is such an important part of that rehabilitation
Yes,
process. So that's a
exactly.
very admirable goal, and hopefully something that you'll consider pursuing. Yeah.
Yes.
And helping your community. Lexi, I've got a question for you. What does it mean to represent Hawaii while you're playing at HPU? You're a hometown girl. You probably play in front of a lot of friends and family. But tell us a bit about how that feels to be playing in your hometown at a college level.
Yeah, so that was like one of the main things that brought me here. I wanted to be able to play for them. It means a lot to be able to represent the state, especially when we go up to the mainland and we play up there. We're not only like representing like our families and stuff, but we're representing like all the high schools and like all the coaches that have come before. So yeah, I really like that honor. Being from such a small state, like there's only a few of us. So Yeah.
Nice. Well, I'm being told we got to do a commercial break here, so we will take a quick break, but I want to give a quick shout out to one of our amazing sponsors. Thank you, Physiotherapy, for sponsoring Sharks Weekly and being a supporter of HPU athletics. Our physical therapists have all been competitive athletes and know what it takes to help get you back to what you love doing fast. Physiotherapy, thank you for your support. All right, we'll take a quick break, and you are listening to Sharks Weekly. I'm your host, Jeff Rich, and we will be right back.
You're listening to Sharks Weekly on the Hawaii Sports Radio Networks, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
And we are back live in studio. And just a reminder that you can, of course, always listen to us live every Thursday at 9 a.m. On 95.1 FM and 760 AM. You can also catch a archived live stream recording of our broadcast on the Hawaii Sports Radio Network YouTube channel. And, of course, you can listen to all of our episodes going back to the beginning of the season on Hawaii Sports Radio Network's website, where all of the episodes are available on demand. And just a reminder as well that you can text in a question today to 808-888-5481. All right, let's get back to some interesting questions here. So I think I had one for Makayla. Makayla, give us a little sense of how your transition from high school to college has gone. And then also, what's been the biggest highlight so far as you've entered your collegiate career?
The transition hasn't been that bad. The only thing that's different is like the long drive that I have to take now. But just getting used to like all my classes and just pretty much doing everything on my own now without too much help with it. And what was the other question?
Well, what's been the highlight so far? I know you haven't started the season officially yet, but you're starting to do team activities, and what's really stood out as something that you'll remember from your first year in college.
Well, preseason practices are always fun. We're lifting weights, practicing at Sand Island, and we just had Friendsgiving at my house, and that was really fun.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Friendsgiving a little early before some of the students head back. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. Coach, thinking about coaching, philosophy, team culture, what qualities do you look for in recruits, especially local talent like we have today?
The qualities we look for is student athletes who you can tell that they have a sense of ohana. They're not the type of kid that they rely on mom and dad to pick up their equipment, right, to come and cater to them when you watch them play at the park. They're independent. You can tell they have their own leadership skills. They'll encourage their teammates. They'll help others along. So those are good qualities we can spot right off the bat. But if you dive a little deeper and you have those conversations with them, you kind of pull out whether or not they'll be a good fit for the program.
Right. And then looking at, balancing academics and athletics, how do players do that? I mean, how, it's such a, academics is difficult, and then, playing, practices, games, how do players do that?
Time management has been a part of our program from the very beginning. What we've instilled in our players is having a mentorship program. We sort of match up the upperclassmen with
that's a good idea. Right.
Incoming freshmen and underclassmen in the same colleges, the same degree program, so that they're able to provide some guidance. It also bridges the relationship between the new kids, the older kids, and we help to build that foundation first. But they'll be like the first contact if they have questions, if they have any difficulties, challenges, then they can pretty much walk them through the processes.
Really creates a good bond with all the players.
It does. In addition, we also have the Learning Assistance Center, tutoring, all those other supports and resources that
That's right.
we
HPU
offer.
has so many different options for players.
Yeah, getting that team chemistry together.
So important for
so
softball,
important,
right?
yeah. And it doesn't just happen, on the field, but things that happen off the field. The team building, the Friendsgiving that you mentioned as an example. One of the important things at HPU for all of our athletics programs are community engagement activities, and you guys have an interesting one. I'm going to take a stab at pronouncing this. Kula Nui o Waimanalo Limu.
Hey, that's great.
Did I get that right?
You got it.
All right. I know. I'm getting good.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that project.
I'll take this one. We've done many different community service ones in the past, but this one I think was the best one. We helped restore, what was it? The rock wall, but that was separate. The first thing we did was we sat with like different community members who were a part of this organization and watched them
weave limu.
Yes, and we tied it around a rock, and like everyone grabbed one and we walked it out into the ocean. And then after that, we helped restore the rock wall on like the other side of the beach, and we learned a lot about like culture and like helping your community. And I definitely think that's something that we should do again.
Lexi, how did you feel about that experience? Was that interesting for you?
Yeah, I really liked the experience, and like Taylor said, we learned a lot about the culture. So something that I learned is that Hawaii Kai is actually a part of the Waimanalo, like Ahupua. So I'm actually technically from Waimanalo.
Okay.
That's great.
Something new that Jade and I learned, because we're both from Hawaii Kai.
Nice. We have two hometown girls on the team.
And
here
we also
in the
have,
studio.
they started a new tradition, the Halloween tradition, right, where they have
Yes.
softball and baseball play like a scrimmage together. How did that work out? That was almost a month ago.
Oh yeah, we won. We did win.
You beat the guys? So wait. So
No, it was intermix co-ed.
Okay, all right. So wait. So men's baseball, women's softball,
Right.
intermixed teams, so
Right.
co-ed teams.
4 teams.
Everybody was in costume playing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really fun. All the guys were dressed in. They had these big puffy, the blow-up ones, and the girls we matched. So we had firefighters, the Lorax,
The coaching staff.
the coaching staff. That was funny.
Oh, wow.
And pirates, yeah. So that was really good.
So that's going to be every year. You guys are going to do that, Coach?
Yeah, Dana and I wanted to really bring back the connection that baseball and softball has
I know.
had in the past.
Right, right.
You know, we were one of those teams where it was always intermixed, and we would support them, they would support us. So we think that it's a valuable part of the overall experience. And so, you know, just a little bit of bantering here and there, like, okay, well, let's do it then.
Yeah.
I know. It's a great way to get both teams together, right? You know,
Yeah.
And this
have
was
a lot
the
of
first
fun.
time you guys did it. So
First
this is
year,
now a
yeah.
tradition. It'll be every year.
It will. I mean,
Halloween
we've got
tradition.
recruits asking about it because,
Yeah.
you know, baseball posted it on their Instagram, and so did we. And so
Yeah.
we got a lot of good feedback, and,
Yeah.
you know, kids are now interested. They want
Yeah.
that to continue.
So
And-
if people want to see this game, can they come out and watch it? Or is
Yeah,
it-
they can.
like-
And it's
Yeah.
not a game or a scrimmage. It's a team bonding activity, so
Okay.
it doesn't count towards our
Right.
Do you keep
Kara.
score?
I'm sure they do. Well, we got umpires as well, so
Okay.
all the coaches
Right.
serve as umpires.
Right.
And we don't use like a normal ball. We use like the 14-inch ball.
Okay.
It's a little softer.
So
it's
fans
harder.
can come out and watch it next
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be
Got it.
fun.
All right. Well, the big burning question, of course, is best costume. Who had the best costume? Did you give an award for the best costume?
No, we didn't give an award for best costume.
Oh, maybe next year.
Wait, no,
Yeah.
didn't Leanne post it on Instagram? Who won? I think the Pirates won. No, the firefighters.
The firefighters?
They're
Okay.
just lame. They're the only ones who voted. I think the Lorax costumes were the best. The winning team.
We have to see some pictures of this.
Yes.
So, all right. So we will try and make those available somewhere.
I know. We
where
gotta see these
folks
photos,
can see
right?
them. But you guys are big Instagram posters, right? I think I noticed that everybody has an Instagram handle
Yeah.
on there. So I assume
Yeah.
that there are many pictures and things happening through the season on Instagram.
Shout out to Leanne for taking care of us and taking our photos.
What's the how do people find, is there a hashtag or a searchable, title or something that people, if they want to go see these photos of HPU softball?
HPU_softball.
Okay.
Okay.
HPU underscore
Okay.
softball is the Instagram handle.
A quick little couple of questions, actually. Did I hear that there was a coaching staff, the coaching staff dressed up, or that people dressed up as the coaching staff,
We
or
gotta
was it both?
clarify that.
Both.
The coaching staff dressed up,
Yes.
and players dressed up as the coaching staff.
Yes.
So who dressed up as Dane?
So I guess my question, at least to Shorty, did they do a good job dressing up as the staffs?
Lexi was great. She even got the tattoo down and everything on her. It was really good.
You were Coach Jarnett, Lexi?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh wow.
She
What
had the
led to
bucket
that?
hat.
What led to that motivation to dress up as her, and what led to you specifically being Coach Shorty?
Well, at first we were all going to be Shorty. We were all going to be different variations of her at least. But
Long hair to short hair.
Oh, the
Taylor
30
really
years.
wanted to wear a bald cap, so we decided to expand out to the entire coaching staff, and then, yeah.
I mean, Coach John's knee brace was a winner. Somebody put on a big knee brace.
With the clipboard.
Yeah, and shout out to the coaching staff, Coach Stacy Araki, Coach John Corrales, Coach Tony Safri, and Malia Torres.
I'm glad they got some love too, though, right? Where you get a little bit of love for the assistants, you get a little bit of love because it really is a team effort. What about for the coaches? Who was the best dressed amongst the coaches, and what was that costume?
Coach John?
Yeah, Coach John, what was he dressed as?
Like a
construction worker. And, like, nobody recognized him. And one of the baseball coaches showed up, and he's like, where's your coach? And I was like, that guy over there. And they're like, oh, we thought he was just here working on the field.
Did he step up to the plate with a construction helmet on instead of a batter's helmet?
They didn't play, but he was coaching.
Third base.
Yeah,
Okay.
Coaching third base.
Once
in his whole
again,
outfit.
we must see pictures.
Yeah.
God, I watch the game next year.
Yeah.
Well, we got something to give Dane a little crap about, too, when we see him, the men's baseball coach, too.
Dane probably had a really good costume. He was full decked out in an umpire's uniform, had the pockets and everything.
Did he have the gut, though? Did he add the cartoon gut? Because that's always the vision of the umpire in my mind. With respect, of course, to all our umpires, we love them, especially here at HPU when they give us those the right close calls.
That's right. We need the close calls.
The close calls are good. Yeah, you want to figure out how to get in the ref's hip pocket, like the Kansas City Chiefs have done in the NFL. Right.
Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah,
that
was
took
a shot.
turn.
Well, I didn't mean to switch sports on you guys, but we were talking a little football earlier. Anyway, all right. Well, let's get back to softball.
Yeah.
So, and I'm going to give everybody a fair warning because we're going to take a commercial break in a few minutes. But when we come back from that break, I'm going to ask each and every one of you what your favorite Halloween costume through your lifespan has been. Ooh. So. You could have been in elementary school and worn one of those, out-of-the-box Target costumes, or really gone to town and thought about it. But give it some thought, and then your all-time best Halloween costume that you have worn. Okay. You too, Paul, so we're going to ask you that. All right. So we're talking softball. We are ahead of the season. You guys have your opening alumni game. I think it's a January 25th. Will be Alumni Day, and that's a tradition as well. Tell us a bit about that. You get a lot of folks coming back, and there are fun things to do in addition to a little softball exhibition game. Yeah,
we're very fortunate to have a really strong alumni base. A lot of the girls who just continue to live in Hawaii, who are born and raised Hawaii former players, they always come out, and they come out in droves. So once the word gets out on the date, they're normally already making arrangements on what they're going to wear, what they're going to bring, what they're going to do. And then it all starts, and they start talking about how they're going to beat this year's team. And historically, the alumni has never beaten our current team. They've been close, several times close, but never.
Well, this might be the year, but we'll have to see what happens. But that'll be fun. And just to give all of our alumni, hopefully some folks listening out there, the heads up, that game is 1:25, and you should participate and at least come out and support the team. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm being told we have to do another commercial break. So another shout out to Aiea Bowl. As one of HPU's Sharks Weekly's amazing sponsors, Hawaii's only hyper bowling center, Aiea Bowl. A new experience in entertainment. So if you like to bowl, which I do, go check
that is
that
a
out.
great place.
Have you been there, Greg?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. All right. Well, that could be a great team activity for you guys bowling.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, you're listening to Sharks Weekly. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
You're listening to Sharks Weekly on the Hawaii Sports Radio Networks, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
And we are back. You are listening to Sharks Weekly. I'm your host, Jeff Rich. And a couple quick shout-outs of some fun events happening here on campus. HPU's College of Liberal Arts is presenting Heaven and Earth, a celebration of music and her patron Saint Cecilia. Join us for a delightful evening of music featuring students and community members in an international chorus. It will be also with the Chamber Orchestra, and it's free admission. The event date is Friday, November 22nd at 7:30 p.m. here at Aloha Tower Marketplace's Sunset Ballroom. To get more information, check out hpu.edu/events. And one more, you are also invited to attend the Downtown Arts Center's Black Friday event, featuring HPU arts and entrepreneurship students selling their handmade items. Pick up one-of-a-kind holiday gifts and check out the talent being developed from HPU's Arts and Markets program. That event is November 29th and 30th at the Downtown Arts Center. For more information on that, check out hpu.edu/events as well. All right, well, let's jump back into some questions. So I've got a general question for the team, so anybody jump in who's got an answer for this one. But what is your favorite pre-game routine or ritual?
It's a good thing Taryn's not here.
Is that? Do you want to tell us that
No,
one?
you got to see the Instagram for that.
Yes, please do look at the Instagram if you ever want to see Taryn's pregame ritual.
Okay, that sounds like a
mine-
call out here.
I usually just get Starbucks in the morning and just listen to my music on the way.
Now that's mellow.
Yeah.
That gets you into
Yeah.
kind
just
of
mellow,
vibe.
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
that'll work.
Yeah.
Me and Neva carpool. She's my roommate. Shout out Neva. She's probably she's awake. Probably not. But we carpool to every game, and usually we get Jack in the Box.
Jack in the Box.
We both get an extreme sausage sandwich. I get a Diet Coke, and she gets a Dr. Pepper.
Okay.
I got to ask, why Jack in the Box? You got McDonald's, you got Chick-fil-A,
It's like the closest, and the McDonald's by us was like remodeling, and also we get Starbucks a lot before work because we also work together, and it just like switch it up. Like Starbucks is for work, Jack in
Okay.
the Box is for softball.
all right, well, after saying that, we can probably assume that Jack in the Box will never sponsor this show.
I know. Maybe Starbucks.
Starbucks. We keep bringing them up.
Keep bringing
Got to hide our Starbucks cups. All right, Lexi, what do you got?
I don't really have a ritual, but like Jane and I also carpool, and now we also bring Maddie, and we always just bring like Uncrustables. So I'd say maybe that's just our ritual, just eating an Uncrustable before the practices and the games. I eat grape.
Okay.
That's a good choice.
Yeah.
Do you have a preference?
I like the strawberry. Yeah, but I like grape too.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with either.
A lot of preservatives in that, guys.
A lot of
I gotta
preservatives,
say.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Easy.
Easy.
All right. Well, I'm going to ask Coach. So, over your multi-decade career here at HPU, what is the most interesting pregame routine that you have witnessed among your players?
Taryn.
It is Tara. Okay.
Okay.
That's the one. That's the call
So
out.
we have to look it up, I guess. Huh?
It's crazy. She puts on one sock at a time, one shoe, and does her hair a certain way.
Wow. Wow.
That's a good one.
I've brought this up before because we have asked this question, but to me, in all of sports, the greatest, it's not a game, it happens in the middle, but remember the mad Hungarian Al Rabowski. He was a relief pitcher for, I think it was Kansas City Royals maybe, or I'm forgetting the team, but this guy would go out on the mound, and after every single pitch, he would walk off the mound, he would take the ball, and he would do this with it in his glove, and he'd pound it like this, and it would be like a minute or two for every single pitch, and you were allowed to do that back then.
Now they can't.
No, yeah.
Now that's why we have the Rabowski pitch clock.
Is that what it's called?
No, but it should be after hearing that.
That's a good one.
Well, I'm curious how many of our listeners even know that name, because that is a distant name from the past. But man, was that guy a character
That
back in the
sounds
days
interesting.
when...
That's another one to look up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Can we talk about evolution of softball?
I think that's a good topic.
Like looking at from your career from player to coach, how has softball evolved over the years?
The field dimensions, all that stuff has not changed from late 80s, early 90s. But what's changed significantly is the technology.
Right. So bats, okay.
balls, and just the way that the kids are swinging the bat and hitting the ball these days. Those are the two major changes.
Okay. Are players throwing faster? Are they throwing more?
Not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're that big kid who throws 60, 70 underhand.
Right.
For the most part, that hasn't really changed much. It's mainly the bats and the balls.
How have the bats changed?
Oh, it's lively.
Okay.
Very lively off of the pitchers.
Okay.
So
it makes it harder for the pitchers.
Yeah, and for the pitchers, safety has been one of the key issues, and that's why you see the changes in the compression of the balls, and also safety of the bat. So, in the past, we've never checked or tested bats.
Right.
Now we have to test the bats every single game just to make certain that
interesting.
the standards are safe for
Right.
our pitchers who are the closest
Wow.
to the ball.
Wow. So besides that, those are the major changes.
Those
Do you
are the
see
major.
anything that you'd like to have a new rule in softball, or you'd like to see something change?
Softball, there's always legislation proposals every year. So annually, we're voting on different changes to the game. I think the most recent one is having a second base at first, so it's like an extra bag. So So these girls, when they grew up, they probably played with 2 first base, where it helps to keep the runner in the runner's path. That's been somewhat of a controversy in all 3 divisions, because when you get to the national championship, they're not playing with 2 bags. They're only playing with 1. So it's an experimental rule. If you want to implement it, you have to make certain that the other school is okay with it.
Right. So that would be all divisions, or how does that work? Division 1, Division 2?
It's all. They're asking for all 3 divisions right now.
Wow, that's
but
interesting.
there's several schools in Division 2 who have implemented, but if the opposing team does not want to use it, then they have to take it out.
Wow. That seems like an odd policy to not just go all in on it and say this is the rule of the land now, or...
Well, and that's the wonderful thing about the NCAA, right? They want feedback. They want the coaches, student athletes to provide that type of commentary that affect the play of the game.
I was curious, actually, because it piqued my interest when you're talking about the safety. Taylor, if I'm not mistaken, you wear a mask when you pitch. Is that right?
Yes, I do.
How long have you done that, and what kind of went into your decision to wear that mask? Is it like very much so just that safety part of it? Does it help with the mental side of things as well? Because that is, I mean, softball, much like baseball, is a huge mental game, and if you're worried about your safety, I gotta imagine it's hard to pitch effectively.
I've pretty much been wearing it as long as I started pitching. I think my mom and my dad both said, like, you know, we spent all this money on your teeth and you got to protect the moneymaker. But now it's like, when I don't wear it, I'm like, ooh, like this feels weird. But also, like, the girls are, like, if I leave it down the middle, it's either going to go over the fence or it's going to come right at my face. And you've seen videos online of, like, at different schools where girls are getting hit like that. And I just don't think it's a risk willing to take. And I don't think I'd feel very comfortable taking it off.
Understandable.
And then you have somebody like Mac who does not wear a mask.
So that was actually going to be my next question, because I thought I remembered at the very start, Mac, you were pitched as a little bit of a do-everything. You know, we talked about power hitters before. We can talk about that with you, but also a bit of a pitcher. What goes into your mind when you step into the circle?
I used to wear a mask when I was in like 10 maybe, but I don't know, I just stopped wearing it because it irritated me. But I would say I'm athletic. I'm pretty athletic. I can move around, and I think I could protect myself.
But that's kind of why I ask, right? Because it kind of seems like a mental thing, right? Yeah. Whatever you need to be or need to feel, because in one sense it feels weird to not have it, and then in another, you know, it felt weird to have it. So I just thought it might be a little bit interesting, because you have 2 pitchers of different ilks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know, so much of it's a mental thing. I remember when I was playing Little League baseball, we were practicing, I was pitching, and my dad was our coach, and he drilled one line drive right back at me, hit me in the right eye.
Your dad?
My dad.
Oh, wow.
I went down, my eye was immediately swollen, another millimeter, I would have lost the eye. But I could never hit a curveball from that point forward, and I could never get past that mental, you know, the ball's coming at me, and I just couldn't hang in there and hit that curveball anymore. Wow. Destroyed my baseball career.
Oh, Dad.
So you moved to football, right?
Yeah, I would have been better off sticking with baseball.
Wow. It is
man! All right, well, hey, let's hit a couple of rapid fire questions. So I'm going to throw this out. All right, guys, who is the most competitive player on the team? If not in studio.
Yeah, no more.
I would say Tiari.
I agree.
Yeah, Tiari's
Is that
most
unanimous?
competitive.
Tiari?
Yeah.
For sure.
How come?
She really just, like, you know, she's a sore loser, but also, like, when it's our own team at, like, practice, it's like, you're not taking her spot. Like, even I joke, I don't even play first base. She's like, no, you're not.
All right, well, that's shouting out a teammate. Yeah. Maybe on the good side, who's the best cook on the team?
Makayla.
What's your specialty? What do you like to cook?
I just made a turkey. Like, that was my first time making a turkey when we had our Friendsgiving. Yeah, and they said it was pretty good. Yeah. And I also bake. Yes.
What do you like to bake?
Cookies.
Any favorite cookies?
Chocolate
I'm going to keep drilling on deeper
chocolate
here.
Chip.
Chocolate chip.
I can make pretty much anything. My whole family is like bakers, so like I kind of grew up baking around my grandma and my mom and all that.
Nice.
All right, that actually gives us a perfect quick segue here to one of our text questions.
Okay.
I do want to give this to all three of you. What is the favorite dish that you guys would bring to a Thanksgiving dinner or a Friendsgiving dinner? Obviously, Makayla's got a little step up because she was already cooking and whatnot. But maybe the other two, what would you guys either like to see there, or what do you guys want to bring to a Thanksgiving dinner?
Next week.
Well, Taryn's mac and cheese was really good. She put a lot of effort into it. She was talking about it all week, and it came out really well. And Layla ended up asking her for the recipe, so that would probably be the favorite.
See?
Yeah, one thing I'd say we were missing was stuffing. I should have brought stuffing. I love stuffing. That's my favorite. Oh, and Lex's green bean casserole. I waited all year for that. It's like my favorite Thanksgiving food.
Green bean casserole.
Yes.
Nice.
And I guess, Coach, we should toss you in there as well. Do you have a favorite, dish that needs to be there for your Thanksgiving dinner, whether it be something local, something overall? Just what needs to be there for you?
What needs to be there is poke. I'm the host, so I have to do like 3 turkeys, and we normally have a variety.
Wow.
So we have one in the emu, we have a deep fried one, and then of course the traditional one in the oven.
Wow.
So my family is fairly big. We got about 30 plus that comes to my house, and yeah, we've got everything you can possibly think of.
Serious dinner.
It's lunch and dinner.
Wow, that sounds fantastic.
Wow. Well, it's going to be an interesting Thanksgiving with, a lot of political talk, I imagine, coming up with big family gatherings. All right, well, I'm getting the word that we are heading into our last commercial break. And before we do, I just want to also remind you that today's episode of Sharks Weekly is brought to you by Hawaii Pacific University's Holomua Commitment. HPU puts a private college education in reach by guaranteeing admission and at least a $15,000 scholarship for local high school students with a 2.75 GPA or higher. Guaranteed admission, guaranteed scholarship. Visit hpu.edu/affordable for details. All right, we're going to take a break, and then we'll be back for our last segment of the show.
You're listening to Sharks Weekly on the Hawaii Sports Radio Networks, 95.1 FM and AM 760.
And we're back for our last segment of today's show. We are talking women's softball. And before we get to any text questions that have come in, I want to ask you guys about the experience you had with the USA Softball Hawaii Clinic. Tell us a little bit about that. What was it like, and what was the value in participating?
I had so much fun. It was so nice being able to give back to the younger generations and kind of feel that love for the sport. We worked a lot of fundamentals, just little things, and kind of safety. I was with the younger group, and they're all so cute. They're all so willing to learn, and I just had
They're
so
not
much
jaded
fun.
yet, right?
Yeah.
Makayla, what was your experience?
Well, I had the other group. Nah, they were good though. It was really fun. It was nice to see everyone. Being from here, it was nice to give back to everyone. And some of the kids knew me from my high school career, so that was really nice.
Wow, a star. You got a following.
Yeah.
Big star.
Big star. Nice.
Yeah.
Taylor?
I was sick that day, and I'm really upset that I missed it because it would have been the first and only time I get to participate, but maybe Shorty will have me back next year just to come to that.
Wow.
Easy.
Well, one more kind of team question about, dynamics and superstitions, but is there a go-to cheer from the dugout or, something, or some chatter? Softball, baseball are notorious for chattering, from the dugout and all, to give your team encouragement and all, but is there something that you guys do that either gets you hyped up or takes a subtle jab at the opponent?
Taylor's favorite cheer.
Yeah, my favorite cheer is 2 in a row. So when the other pitcher on the other team throws 2 balls in a row, I'm quick to be yelling 2 in a row, 2 in a row. And it's because my freshman year, they're doing that to me, and I'm like, what?
Right.
That's so mean.
Yeah.
Well, when you do it to other people now, it's it doesn't bother me. I'm singing along when they're doing it right back
So
at
does that
me.
really
There you
get
go.
into a player's head, a pitcher's head when somebody has a cheer like that?
Honestly, the only voices I hear when I'm pitching are the coaches and maybe some teammates behind me, and then if my dad happens to be in the stands.
Okay.
Even if it's just like, he never says anything bad. He's very encouraging, but I always hear him.
Okay.
It's just
So
certain
you're able
voices,
to
but
just tune it out.
some other teams we play, or just probably like younger girls where they haven't quite figured out the mental game of it.
It might get into their head.
get into their head, so you gotta.
It might rattle a pitcher. That
yeah,
way.
you gotta use it.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, you take note if you since you play some of the same players, same season. Sometimes if you're here
Yeah.
multiple years, you take note of that and figure out who you can rattle,
Try
whose
and rattle.
cage you can rattle,
That's
right?
true.
Exactly.
That's true.
Wow. Well, Paul, I understand that we have a little, speaking of parents, a little distant parenting happening with a little text question call out here.
Yeah, we just want to make sure everybody's texts are read. And this one came in during the break. For the record, Mom and Dad always want Makayla to use a mask every time she pitches.
Thank you, Dad, for that.
So
That is
wanted to get
excellent
that one in
parenting.
there.
Thank
For
you
the
for
record.
setting
I know.
that.
My mom always freaks out for me, but it's fine. I just got to let her know I got it.
There you go.
I guess with families on the docket, I'll ask our other text question now, and maybe any family pets, or perhaps a favorite dog breed that you guys have. When it comes to animals, where does your heart lie?
I have 2 dogs at home. I have a Staffy and a Pit Bull. Yeah, one of them just turned 5. The other one is 2. Yeah,
What was the first breed?
Staffy.
Staffy?
Staffordshire.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good breed. Anybody else have a dog favorite breed or a pet at home that they miss?
Well, I'm more of a cat person. I have my pride and joy, my baby. Peekaboo Shakira Thompson is her full name. And she's a little one-eyed kitty. Got her about a year ago. It's like she's my baby.
That is nice.
Yeah.
Nice cat. What about you, Lexi?
I have 2 dogs, so I have a Corgi, and then I also have a Dachshund Chihuahua mix.
Ooh.
So Dachshunds and Corgis are kind of like up there with my favorite breeds. My favorite breed of dog is a Skye Terrier. They have like really long hair. They're cute.
Very cool breed.
And Jeff, you have a sheepdog, is that right?
Well, a West Highland Terrier. I'm going to give a shout out to Pebbles. Pebbles, how are you?
Is Pebbles is listening right now?
Pebbles, maybe.
You got the radio on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel guilty. I try and leave some music on for her when I go. She's home alone all day.
Yeah.
So it's a bad feel. I got to get a dog walker over there, I think. But
Just
Pebbles,
get the camera and you can talk to her all day.
I do that, and then I freak her out.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of mean to do to your dog, though.
I love watching Ava walk around and look for me.
Paul, do you have a pet?
I do. I have pets back at home, but I also have a cat out here. Shout out to my little man Casper. He's an awesome little guy. Shout out to my dogs back home, Bailey and Katie as well. They're my second set of dogs. Rest in peace, Scout and Jeter.
Jeter?
How many
Derek
animals
Jeter?
can I? Yeah, absolutely. How many
Best.
animals can I get in here at this point? Rest in peace to my other cat, Jinx.
Jinxie.
We're getting all the animals in there, and it's good because to end out this show, I'm talking about my dogs because we have so many dogs here in the studio,
And
with
cats,
this
though.
softball team. And well, yes, of cats, but the dogs, DAWG, the dogs of HPU
That's right.
women's softball.
That's
Which, by the way, once again, really appreciate you guys coming on in.
Yeah. And we didn't catch your preference for pets, Greg. Do you have
probably cats.
cats? You have a cat at home?
I do have a cat.
Okay.
Yeah, we have cat. Always had a cat.
Well, we have strong cat representation here today.
Yeah.
Equal,
I like
right?
both,
3 cats, 3 dogs.
Gotta like dogs.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
but cats and dogs are great.
Yeah.
Both.
And a turtle. I have a turtle.
And a turtle.
I
Well,
have a turtle.
turtles in Hawaii.
I'm gonna try
are
and walk the turtle. That's my next
the walk
step. With a little rope.
Before we get out of here, Coach, is there anything that you want to give a shout out to or give a look ahead as we get ready for the upcoming spring season for you guys?
Yeah, just real quick, a shout out to Miley and also Tita, who I forgot to mention a little bit earlier. Please come out to support us. January 25th, we have our annual alumni game. It'll be fun. Of course, there'll be a lot of cheering, a lot of bantering between the old folks and the newbies. And then our first home opener is February 6th. We've got Cal Poly Humboldt at Sand Island Field 5 that the girls actually named and was approved the Sharks Den.
Oh, I like it.
now.
Sharks Den.
great.
So come on down to the Sharks Den. First game, first pitch, 1 o'clock p.m. Second game will follow about 3:30. And we've got a bunch of games that weekend. We've hosted 3 teams from Illinois, Chicago, and Michigan that are also coming to play in that little round robin. And that should be the start of our home openers.
Nice.
36 Pac-West games. We're hoping to finish with 32 of them at least. And we want to be right back in the Pac-West championships.
Who are the rivals this year? Who are the teams that you're really looking to?
I think they'll tell you who the biggest one is.
Yeah.
Yeah, who are we gunning for this year?
Yeah, who are we gunning for?
Always Concordia.
Okay, Concordia. Why Concordia?
Honestly, we play. That's the best game.
Yeah.
It is.
Okay.
They're our best competition. I feel like we really step up for that. So yeah,
Okay.
coming for you.
Well,
They're
that
coming.
music,
All right.
that
They're
music
coming.
means we're out of time, guys.
Okay.
We're just, boy, what a great show, though, and great conversation. I want to thank HPU Women's Softball for joining us in studio. Makayla, Lexi, Taylor, and Jarnett, great job, and it was interesting to get to know you guys a little bit better. So we look forward to our next conversation. Paul and Greg, thanks for your support in studio, and we will catch you next week on Sharks Weekly.